it really help if I press the go live button? I've been talking for like the past 5 minutes. Didn't realize I wasn't live. What the hell? Hey everybody, welcome in. My name is Josh. This is Game Joy channel. We are going to be doing some live modding today, and breaking some stuff because we finally have the tools to do the breaking. Right? Welcome in. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. And thanks for being here. Ronnie, welcome in. Mikolai, welcome in. Am I saying your name right? Please let me know if I'm not. David and Ken, welcome in. All right, we're going to break some stuff. How are you today? Let's switch over to the desktop. We don't want this one. Actually, we don't want to switch over to the desktop yet. I can't show you the secret stuff. Secret stuff is secret stuff for a reason. Hey, Tail, welcome in. All right, here we go. Press the button. Boink. Hi, everybody. I need a new desktop. This is the same desktop image as my old Alienware, so I do have an Alienware computer. But this is the same desktop as my old one. I need a new one. I need something different. Somebody give me something different, please. I want like a hexagon desktop that looks really fancy and stuff. So get on that. Anyways, welcome in. We are going to be going back into our Registrack, and Bruce coming in with a member chat. 4 months already. I know it's been crazy. I can't believe and not only that, I just hit a milestone. I'm up to 600 subs now, which is really great. And not only that, I'm like teetering on 900,000 downloads on Mod Hub, and I'm assuming that once my current mod goes out, we're gonna blast that through the freaking stratosphere. So I'm excited about that. Plus, the Farmville stations are almost ready. The new industrial sawmill is almost ready, and those are just waiting on GE, so I can go in, edit the triggers, make sure that they have the right collisions, and ship it. It's literally done. It's almost there, so we're getting close. Anyways, today we're gonna be looking at our little Registrack that we were working on before. So I reorganized the folder. Now, the thing with mods, yeah, we're gonna look at that today, Ken. The thing with mods is that the structure of the folder doesn't matter. Giants doesn't care. I could do this. I could go in here and create a folder called poop, and then I could put the model in a folder called poop and ship it to Giants. They wouldn't care. Well, they might. I mean, if I put it like, you know, if I called it the ass folder or piece of shit folder, they might say something, but I could probably ship it with poop and they would ship it out to customers. It doesn't matter. So the content, the structure of the folders doesn't grow. One way I like to structure it is, to me, this structure right here with everything all in the same folder is just a little bit, not so great. I personally like to have all of the images that are not like, so I have a folder in here that I like to put in here called artwork _artwork. Actually, I didn't want to do that. This one can go away. Those can go away. Because anything with an underscore to me is private. So it's not actually private, but I consider it private. So that way I don't put the artwork folder into the mod when I ship it somewhere. The next thing here is going to be, so the icon, this one has to be here. So this is your icon. Like we looked at this last time. Why are you opening GIMP? Oh, it's a DDS file. Yeah. Oh, you mean, can I zoom in? I am full screen, but I'm full screen on a 4K monitor. So let me handle that. Okay. So like this is our thumbnail. I'll go back to it. Don't worry. I'll zoom in a little bit. Actually, you know what I'll do? Let me do this. Display settings, because it ships whatever I'm looking at. Let's go here and let's change the display. We're gonna go to this. We're gonna go to 1920. Okay, I'm not gonna use 4K today. We're gonna use 1920. It's just gonna change the scale of things to make them bigger and the buttons bigger and stuff like that. It should be a little bit. So anyways, this is our icon, right? It's whatever. Not a big deal. This is our icon. So the DDS file has to be in the root. That's important. Giants doesn't allow it to be in a subfolder. I've shipped a mod to them before where it's in a subfolder. Like I made an icons folder and they didn't like it. So we're going to not do that. And then I like to personally, put my models in an i3D folder. So I'm going to do this and do that. Right now, I just broke stuff. So I just moved the model, which means that the paths that are inside the model, if they reference anything locally, might be wrong. So right now, that's not the right place. Do I have a screen for this? No. Let's create one. New window. New game. Anyone knows the other Josh says that? Let's make it bigger because Ken has bad vision. Open folder. I don't actually know if Ken has bad vision. I'm just totally just kidding. All right, so this is our folder that we're going to work with today, right? That's a little bit big. I can't handle that. There we go. All right, so what are we looking at? We're going to get rid of the TranStar Eagle. We don't care about the TranStar Eagle. We're going to look at this, and we're only going to look at this for now. What did I just change? Okay, so what I changed was I moved the i3D file. So if we go up to our store data, this is still pointing to the data directory, so that one's okay. The base, this is now in a different location, so I have to tell it what that new location is. i3d/that, and then we're done. That's all we have to do. So you have to, if you change your folder structure, there's a lot of places where you have to actually go into the file and fix it. And if you don't fix it, it ain't gonna work. That's just, how things work. But, you have to, it doesn't automatically figure stuff out. Automatic is not something that's in Giant's lexicon. All right, so we have our code. And what were we working on last time? So last time, we were working on this, the colors. But I'm going to change one thing first. And let me see if I can find it first. Here. So see this path? Okay, so let's look at something. So something called validation. Does anyone else know what validation is? Validation is basically, or a schema, right? A schema is how you define the very top line of the file. Most people ignore this line. But this XSI no namespace schema location, do you see how it goes .. / shared XML schema vehicle, right? That's where the vehicle schema is, right? What the schema is it tells your editor, your editing software, what stuff is supposed to be there. If the schema says that there's supposed to be a rim configure colorations, it should. But if there's no rim color 2 configurations, right? I get this little squiggly line that says, hey, that's not part of the schema. You need to do stuff. But the problem here is this schema location is relative to the data directory, not relative to my mod. And the easy way to do that, because you don't want it to be relative to your mod, you don't want it to be relative to anything. You want it to be an absolute path. So what we have to do is we have to change it. So we're going to come in here, and I'm going to come like this, and I'm going to paste. This is the URL for validation. So validation.gdn, the Giants Developer Network, .giantsoftware.com/XML FS25 vehicle. And that's going to always point to the vehicle spec for FS25, whatever's the latest spec. Right now they're on 1.3.0, I think. But that's the latest spec. What this is, this file, this XSD file is important. So we're going to talk about the XSD file real quick. Let's close that. So let's actually navigate to it. So if I come in here and go to my data directory, and then let's go into vehicles, blah, 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 blah. And I open this file. I'm in this file. I don't care what file it is. See, it says ... There's 4 ... okay? Remember that. 4 of them. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go up 1 directory. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'm in the directory that it thinks it's in. The ... blah, 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 blah. And now if I go into where it says, which is shared XML, and then schema, see these like XSD files? These are the schema files. Now, I can't read these files. These are like, they're like ridiculous. Just once. This file is like it's a special XML format. It's just, it defines the schema, right? Whatever. I don't want to read that. That's gross. Ugh. Arf. What you can do is in the similar folder, if we go up one and we go into documentation, and now there's HTML files. I can view HTML files all day long. So if we come into something simple like the mod desk, you open the mod desk. So this is, and I made mine black. Yours isn't going to be black. It's going to be white. But this is the spec for your mod desk. And it basically tells you, and there's little mouse overs for everything. So I come in here and I go string. It says description, the authors, plural, of the mod. It's a string and it's required, yes. Or like this, the localization description in BR. I don't know what BR is, what language that is, but, or like RU, that's Russian, right? The localization description for Russian is not required. But if we scroll up to English, it isn't required for English either, so whatever. And then this is all the stuff you can have in your mod desk. We talked about the mod desk, right? But this file tells you all the secrets on what you're supposed to do, on how, what's in the file, what can you do, what's available, how do you do stuff. And these files are generally a little bit tricky to read. Like this is the vehicle one, right? And I know I'm zoomed out, and I'm sorry. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. Come on. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see that we're like somewhere in, where are we? And there's a lot of stuff that's repeated over and over, like effect node. This is always the spec for effect node, but they just keep doing it. Effect node, effect node, effect node, effect node. It's all like the same thing over and over, so it's a little bit hard to read, but like this is the spec for how a combine works. These are all of the things that for show combine. Do you know that there's a fill level buffer time? The amount of milliseconds for forage harvesters, which is their buffer. So if you have a forage harvester and it takes in a little bit, holds a little bit, right? How long will it hold stuff for? What's the buffer time? If I change this to 1 billion, it'll hold more of a buffer. Yay. Right? This tells you how to build your mods. This is the secret sauce. This is the answer. This has all of your answers. I have learned so much from these spec files, more than most people will ever do, and I look for solutions in these files. So when I want to figure out, okay, well, what am I supposed to have here? What's the value supposed to be? I always go to the spec file first. But that's research. That's like a research tool, right? It helps you learn. We don't want to do that. We want to work on our mod. So let's go back to our mod. And we're going to open up GE. So we're going to go into the model. Okay. Now, we could open up the model, which we did last time. We can open up the model in our editor, and we can see all of the code that's behind the model. So the model, the i3D file, is nothing more than an XML file. That's literally all it is. The model is an XML file, except for one piece. If we scroll down, blah, 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 we don't care about materials. We don't want materials, shapes. See how it says shapes and then external shapes file? And the scene is like what's physically there. Like if I was seeing like a stage, an actor, like actors and stuff like that. Who's on the stage? Who's doing what? Blah, blah, blah. It's a scene, right? The shapes defines the actual physical shapes. It also defines the materials. So think about it this way. Think about it. If I have a cube that's coming in as a shape, there is a shape that defines that cube. But if I say the face on the right is one color, it has one material. The face on the left has another material. The face on the top has another material. So I can have 6 different materials if I want, because I can apply materials to each face of an object. That applying of a material to a face only happens in modeling software. It doesn't happen here. It only happens in modeling software. So you can't say, well, I want this part of the vehicle to be one color and this part of the vehicle to be another color. Like I want half the hood to be green and half the hood to be red. You can't do that unless you make those same changes in modeling software such as Blender or Maya, right? So that's the i3D file, but we don't want to see it there. Now that we have GE, we can open up in Giants Editor. So we're going to open it up, and I have two versions of Giants Editor. So this little dialog pops up every time. All I'm doing is double clicking. The system, when you install Giants Editor, it bound i3D to Giants Editor, and Giants Editor says, okay, well, do you want to open up in 10 or 9? 9's the one for FS22. I'm still kind of sort of working on FS22 stuff. I might need that. So I didn't uninstall 9. I'm going to keep it there. I want to open in 10. So let's open up Giants Editor. It takes a little bit. We'll scroll up. I'm scrolling up a little bit in the chat. Blah, blah, blah. Much easier to read, even though I have no clue what you're doing. Do I like the new Giants Editor? I'm not sure. We'll talk about that today. Jay Meister says, he's saying hi to everyone. How's everyone going? Mikolai will be back soon. Oh, really? There's a test runner? Test runner's out, Mikolai? Ooh, I'm excited about that. Test runner's out. Well, that's fancy. That gives me something to do later today. I don't know why my camera's all messed up. It's like sort of working, but not really. See how it's like fuzzy? It doesn't want to do its like thing. Anyway, so I opened up our Rigitrack tractor in GE. And it looks awesome. Cool, right? This is a hot mess. So by default, GE turns everything on. Yeah. So if we zoom in, we're like, oh, cool. Here's the tractor. What is it showing me? Oh, look, these little yellow things, those look like lights. And you're right, they are. These are the lights. I don't want to see the lights. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and go show lights. Oh, good, they're gone. Now the lights are gone. Now, which camera view? Camera. Okay, so I've already totally messed up the camera because I'm using the wrong camera. So I'm going to have to fix the camera by going back to the original model. I can do that later, but essentially, so let's do that. So this is supposed to be the outdoor camera. So I'm in the outdoor camera right now. So the first thing you do when you come in, before you do anything, I was watching a video for Lambo, and he explains this really well. I'm going to explain it really quick. Basically, when you come into the game, it just picks the first camera that it can see. So the problem is that this is the outdoor camera. So if I do this and I load it to the game, it's going to be the camera is going to be pointing at the vehicle like this when I get into it. You can't drive from the side. So what you have to do is don't move this. Create camera, and then put the camera into, like he was suggesting, to put it in the wheels. I think it's a great idea. So I'm putting this, I'm going to call it the dev camera. So the dev camera for development. So now I'm going to pick the dev camera, and now I can move around free willy-nilly. But you can see this camera over here, the one I was in before, is now pointing in the wrong place. So the way to fix that is to figure out where it was. How do you fix that? Oh, I totally messed things up. How do I fix it? All right, here's how you do it. You're going to open a folder. You're going to go to your data directory. You're going to go find the vehicle that you're in. Right? And you can do this, actually, you don't even need to do this in... You can do this in code. Let's do it. Let's do it in code, because it's more fun in code. I'll show you both ways. All right, so we're going to vehicles. Let's go Rigitrack, SKH60. We're going to open up in GE. We're going to open up the other one in GE. So now I have two copies of this thing. I have to make sure I'm always working on my copy and not working on the data directory. So the data directory one, I'm not going to touch this. It's whatever. I'm not going to touch anything. Not touching anything, not moving around, not moving the camera. The first thing I'm going to do is go here. I'm going to find the outdoor camera, which is here. Attach the cabin node, which is such a great place for it. So I can move the interface, but I don't want to move the camera. So outdoor camera is here. I'm translate Z11 0000000, all that stuff. So I need to remember that. So translate C. So switch back to here, to mine. Let's find outdoor camera. And I'm just going to move this camera back where it should be. So this was like a bunch of zeros, right? 0, 0, oh, 0, tab, 0, tab, 11, tab, 0, 0, 0. Now the outdoor camera is back where it should be. Okay, save. No big deal. I fixed the outdoor camera. So now I can take this and get out of this file before I break anything because it's the actual base game file. This one is my file. So we fixed the outdoor camera. It's now rotating the right way. I don't care about the outdoor camera anymore. Okay? And I don't care about my camera because my camera is just hidden somewhere and it doesn't matter. So I can move around this model now without affecting the outdoor camera, which is right there. And everything will be good. I've broken the outdoor camera so many times. It's not even funny. But anyways, we're in GE. What is GE about? So you can see that I'm moving around. And I'm actually using WASD to move around and the mouse. So I'm only doing that because I'm holding down the right mouse button. So if you hold down the right mouse button, you can use WASD to move around. Sometimes this is too fast, right? I need to be more fine-grained. So you can also do a scroll wheel. So you can scroll in and out to zoom in and out at very minute levels. The amount of levels that you zoom in and out is controlled by a setting somewhere. I don't know where that setting is, so I don't care. But what do we need now that we're in G? Well, first of all, we're going to put our attributes down here. So you can just drag and drop panels around wherever you want. I personally like it here. And then I'm going to go to material editing because that's what we're doing today. So the goal last time was, how do we color this thing? I want to make this color. So I'm going to clicking on the model. I click directly on the model. Or if I'm not selected on the model, I can also click on the thing in the timeline. And they added this cool little icon here. And I think this icon means that it's a model, but the pink outline means that there's like collisions on it or something like that. Like there has a bounding box. You see how there's a box around this, like a bounding box? I think that helps the collisions. So anyways, so what do we want to do? We want to change colors. So I'm clicking on the viz and I want window material editing. I thought I turned it on. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. All right. So the big thing that they changed, which is different, and I'm not sure if I like it yet. So is the way materials are. Basically, this machine didn't have any materials because we looked at before the game. Basically, the default base game basically made a decision at some point that said, no, I don't want this vehicle to be recolored. And we know that kind of, I'm just assuming, because they did stuff like this. Rigid track red 1 matte. In other words, I don't want this to this material is not going to ever be anything other than rigid track red 1. Right? It's just a decision someone made. But since we want to recolor this, we want to make our own decisions. So let's look at it. So what do we want to change? We want to change the color of the yellow. So let's find the yellow. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find the yellow. Now I know it's right here, the rigid track yellow, because obviously it's rigid track yellow. It might be named something different. So each machine, you're going to have to kind of figure out which is which. Now, if you don't know, here's how you find out. So if this is the right thing, I don't know, like, let's say when I came into it, it was like this. which is what it was when it came in. It didn't have a slot name. So I'm going to add a slot name. That's what I'm going to do now. But what in this model is yellow? I don't know. How do you tell? So I'm going to come in here, and to make sure that I picked the right thing that colors the piece that I want, I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to come down here to right here where it says color scale. See that? And the color scale, the first letter, the first number is red. So RGB. You see how there's a little like a red icon, a green icon, a blue icon? Now the downside with the new editor is they made it fancy. I don't like fancy. So I'm going to copy this number, but you can actually also just drag like this. So you see that? Ooh. You can actually just drag and it'll destroy stuff. So now this thing is now, I put it back because I hit undo. But sometimes when you click in here to copy this, if you don't click right on the numbers, you end up dragging it by accident. So yeah, that's interesting. That's a huge change. That's a huge change. Okay, so what am I saying? Okay, so if I want to, I know that this is now changing the body color, right? So this is the body color. I want to change the body color. I want to be able to configure it in the store. So that's what we're going to do today. Since I copied and pasted it, I can just paste it back in. It goes back to the original color. So I'm not really affecting the original color. It doesn't matter because we're going to configure it in the store. But in some level, I don't want to break the old stuff if I'm just kind of debugging, right? But the one thing I just noticed is colors are defined from 0 to 1. So our red, 100% red is 1. But now this thing allows up to what, 5? It allows up to 10. Oh my gosh. That's a huge change. So I can make this super ultra extra red and make a color that like is freaking neon. That's super cool. So yeah, before the maximum for these numbers was 1, and now the maximum is a lot higher. I don't understand what we're actually going to do with that. Because right now, if you do 1, 1, 1 for all of the colors, it's going to be white. So if I, yeah, it's going to be white. I don't want to do that because I want to undo it, but it'll turn it white. So now I know that this piece, this matte material changes the body color. That was the big thing I wanted to know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow their naming pattern. I'm going to do SKH, KH, can't type. And we're going to call it main body. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it banana mat. You can call it stupid tractor mat. You can call it just stupid tractor. It doesn't matter. You call it whatever you want. That doesn't make sense because we're doing a lot of these. So you can just call it main body mat, right? That's what I'm going to call it because that's kind of the convention I've seen in other files. They call it main body. So I'm going to call it main body. We can actually don't even need the SKH. You can just do main body mat because this slot name is unique to this object. It doesn't translate into other objects at all. It's only unique to this model. That's kind of the key. And as you can see, I've gone in and changed some other stuff. So like this one right here, copy this one right here. If you change the color here, you can see it's changing this little, like kind of the subframe and the PTO and stuff like that. It's also, if I look at the back, it's also changing that. If I zoom down underneath, it's also changing the subframe. So I called this one subframe. You can call them whatever you want. But what I've gone through and done, and I've saved in the model, save. I made a subframe mat. I made a roof mat. This is the roof. I made the axles. The axles have their own color. I don't know why I care, but they do. The motor has its own color, so I can change the color of the motor. Most of this stuff is all Ridgetrack gray, but now I have the ability to customize it if I want, right? And so that's the majority of the colors. So why do we do this? Why do we create this material? So I'm going to leave this open. I'm just going to minimize it. I don't need to look at it right now. We're going to come back to our code and go back to, now that we have the validation in here, the validation is going to help us a little bit, which is always good. Now, so we have a bunch of configurations, and we have some stuff that we were trying out last time that didn't necessarily work. This one, leave alone. So we're going to uncomment. So if it's green in my editor, that means it's commented. So if it's, you comment something out, you put like, this is like an HTML comment or XML comment like that. CSS insert comment. That means that anything in between those two things the game's not going to see. The game won't see it. So I commented that before. Now I'm going to put it back in. What we know now is this is not going to work because it wasn't an actual slot name. It was a material name, not a slot name. So again, material slot name. If we look in the i3D file, material name. It's not material slot name. And even if we look at the material name, the yellow mat, that slot name isn't here at all. And if we go down to, what is this, material ID 11, we go down to our shapes. See the shape right here? It says material IDs that are assigned to that shape. Blah, 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 blah. It's a comma separated list, which means that it's applying multiple materials to the shape, but the slot name isn't anywhere here. So each one of these materials has a slot, but that slot is actually saved in this shapes file, which sort of makes sense because they're making the shape the source of truth. The downside is that for base game, like I used to recolor a lot of base game stuff just by like figuring out which thing it was and just changing colors. But now there needs to be a one-to-one material name to material slot name. There has to be a one-to-one translation for that. And that one-to-one translation, I wish it was stored in the i3D file where I could see it and I could actually see, like, I really think that the material slot name should be right here. Like, I think it should say material slot name equals X. Or here, material ID equals 11, material slot name equals Y. I think it should be here in the i3D. It's not. For whatever reason, they decided to move it to the shapes file. In some ways, it makes sense, but it makes modding harder. Because I don't know, looking at this without opening the model, if there's a slot name for this. There might be, probably not. I don't know, which is a bummer. So, yeah. So we're going to go back into our code. So we know that this slot name is wrong. We need to use the main body that we decided before. Now I've added in a bunch of Rigitrack colors. And we also told it to use default colors. So I think this is going to work. I haven't tested it yet, so let's find out. Then we're going to load into the game. We're going to come in here to play Farming Simulator 25, not 22. That would be silly. Seeing those edits is not going to work in 22. And we have to wait for the game to load. This is my problem right now with 25. You saw me start the game, right? I'm still talking, and the game hasn't loaded yet. It's thinking, it's running, it's doing stuff. But every time I go in and out of the game, I have to wait this long. What the heck? Why does it take so long to show a start screen? You're not loading any data. You're not... The start screen should be instant. Because it's not actually doing anything. If you look at the log, it's not doing anything. If I look at our log, if we look at our log, it's at 159. All it's done is set a bunch of settings. That's all it's done. It hasn't done anything else. I think what's happening is it's actually contacting the Giant server and doing an HTTP request of some kind to verify something. Probably verifying the PDLCs and stuff like that. And the funny thing here is it actually says that the I have the New Holland CR11 and it says it's unlocked the CR11 gold, but I don't actually have the CR11. But it says that I have it and it says that I've unlocked it. So that's somewhat interesting to me. Anyways, it takes a long time to load. So we can avoid going in and out of the game because I've learned my console commands just a little bit more. So we're going to come in here to, I don't know, pick a save game. Let's do this one. We'll do farm manager. You want the start farm. Continue. We don't need that. We don't need that. This is Mikolai's mod. We'll look at Mikolai's mod in a minute. We only want the black edition because that's the one we're working on. So, go. That's crazy, Mikolai. Yeah, test runner. I can't help you with test runner yet because I haven't actually downloaded it or started running it yet. But test runner is picky. And then not only that, if you did DXT1, your icon, it has no MIP maps. If you do it with MIP maps, it'll yell at you saying that you shouldn't do it. It has the wrong compression. No MIP maps. So your icon, no MIP maps. Textures, MIP maps. Icons, no MIP maps. Falling asleep here because the game's taking so long to load with one mod. Like, what is this? All right, that's fine. Confirm. All right, so let's go into our store. Why am I looking at this in a window? I really don't know, but the game's in a window. Okay. Can I maximize it? No, I can't. It doesn't like my video settings. I think I'm still set up to use a window. Anyways, we can play the game in a window. That's fine. It's fine. Whatever. All right, let's look at our mod. Now we have our SKH black. It's our black edition, so this is the one we want. We load in. Nothing has changed. It looks the same. Great. Well, we have a rim color, so let's change the rim color. We're going to change it to black. We're going to want more rim colors than that. So let's go back into our code. Let's come down here to rim colors. Let's do use default colors equals true. And then let's also get the rigid track colors in here. Because, you know, it's a rigid track. Why not? I don't need those. And then you can't put a base color and a rim color. That doesn't make sense. So we have to change this like that. And now we'll have rigid track colors. And if we wanted to so we made changes to our XML. How do we get it to reload our XML? We just do in here, go GS store items reload. Boom. And now it's reloaded the stuff from the store. And now the first color that it loads is rigid track orange for some reason. Or rigid track yellow, which is what I made is default true. I don't want that. I want, what's rim color default? That's kind of funny. I don't even know what rim default is. That's a color. If you just hit the up arrow and don't type anything, it'll reload. I think it's so that this is, so apparently this is rim color default. It's cool. But now we can make our rim colors any color we want. We can do Looney and make our rims pink. I don't know why he always chooses pink for the rim colors. That's a Looney thing. And now we change our main color. We are like, oh, I want rigid track red. Ooh, that's fancy. Or rigid track orange. I actually like the rigid track orange a little bit better than the rigid track yellow. The rigid track yellow looks like barf. But no, we're making a black edition, so we need to go black. And we can make this extra black if we actually define an extra black color. We have to define it. Well, how do you define an extra black color? All right, let's go look in the code. I want to define a color that's extra black. So we're going to come in here. I'm in the brand material templates. I'm going to look for shared black. And see how there's this black onyx and black jet. Look at the numbers here. Can you guys see these numbers? So the way colors work is, we talked about this earlier, but colors are a percentage. They're not really a percent. Yeah, they're a percentage. Percentage of color in each. So this says 1% red, 1% blue, and 1% green, which means it's pretty black. This one is 82% red, 83% blue, and 73%. So that makes beige, right? So the blackest black is going to be the lowest number, which is going to be black jet, which is one of my favorites. And then we come over here. So we come back here. I want a really, really black car. I don't just want a sort of black car. I want super black. So we're going to call this, do it like that. And we're going to do this. We're going to use that. That's now the default. Can't have more than one default. And then can I change the material here? We have a material template name. But can I change this color? I don't know. How do we know? How do we find out? What else can we do for this? What else can we do for this base color configuration? I don't know. Let's go look. So we're going to go back to, where are we going to go? We're going to go to our documentation. Again, I'm going to do find base color configuration. Okay. We found the base color configuration. What else can we apply? So we can apply a color directly. We can apply whether it's metallic or not. So we can just do is metallic. That's pretty cool. Why would it? What? How does that make any sense at all? Why would you apply a working width when you change a color? Okay, I can help you with that. You can... Yeah, that's... I'm looking at Nikolai's error, which is just like, what? I can't believe you're so dumb. Not you, Nikolai, the game. Basically, Nikolai, the game is telling you that the game has an error, or it's a warning. But basically, whoever built that Lizard rear light 26 i3D, it should only have one object. And you're loading, it has more than one, and so it's basically saying, hey, this object is built wrong. What the hell? I don't understand that. Anyways, we don't want our color to be metallic. And we're using a material template name. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. You can define the color and the UI color. So you can actually make the color black and the UI color, what shows up in the UI, white. Here's how we define our own color. So base color configuration. We're going to go back to our code. I'm not going to use this. So this is the game's blackest black. That's not black enough for me. Color equals 0, 0, 0. And then I'm going to do 6, I think. I'm doing to do 6. The colors and how they show up. So the way the colors work is, remember we talked about RGB, and the last number is the material. And so I'm just guessing. I think old is the one I want. But let's go ahead and save. Go back into the store. GS store items reload. Okay, we picked black before, but now we're going to come in here and pick hella black. It's not working. It's white. Oh, is that what I need? I really don't know. I'm guessing. No, it doesn't like my custom color. It has a name now. That's good. Color configuration. We might have to go all the way into building a material. There we go. Super black. Okay, so I guess their spec is wrong. It needs a 3-digit number, not a 4-digit number. So their spec is wrong, which also means we're not applying a material. If I wanted to make my own material, I'd have to do this. And I'd have to make a template that would have a particular type of color applied to it somehow. I'm not sure how to do that. We'll figure that out later. Anyways, we've made it hella black, and now it's super black, right? We're only coloring a few things. We're coloring the rims and the body, but the interior color, if you look, see there's a second yellow color in there. The interior color. Where has that? All right, well, let's find it. We didn't set the interior color. Let's look at the model. If we go in, we zoom in, we're going to click on this. This is the interior viz. Oh, look. So what happened was that when I first went in here, I was clicking on the outside object, right? Which is the outside. Then if I zoom in, I click on this, I'm clicking on the interior viz. Now the interior viz has its own set of materials. So this is the interior yellow. It doesn't have a slot name, so let's do main. So this is interior. What do we call this? Panels? We can call it whatever we want, as long as we translate that. So save. We created an interior color. That's what we want. We're going to come in here and do this. We want the inside to match the outside. There's a joke there, but I'm not going to say it. And then go back into the game. GS store items reload. And it didn't work. Why not? What do you mean? I just said it. Oh, so we made changes to the model. So the problem is it doesn't know it. So we made changes to both the model and the XML. Now, if we just stay here in the store, it never reloads the model. But if we go out here, right? We load something else and then go back. It'll reload the model. And see, now it has no problem and everything is colored our super, super black. Cool, right? And that's how you do it. Main color, rim color. So what else do we want to color? We have some other stuff we want to color. Let's get design. So you have ability, I think it's up to 20. Is that right? 20. Find design color 11, 15, 20. No. So you have a total of 20 design colors, which is in. Actually, no. 17? 17? No. 16? Ooh, that's the limit. You have 16 design colors. Because they love multiples of 4. So you have 16 design colors. That is an insane amount of design colors that we as modders can apply. Before, we were limited to 4. Or 3. 3 design colors and a body color. Now, 16 colors. We can change everything. Woot woot. As long as you have material slots, you can apply one design color configuration, design color 2, design color 3, blah, 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 blah. And we can color everything. So let's color the grid now. What's the grid? Josh, what's the grid? Why? Why is there a grid? I don't understand. We're gonna actually leave that as grill color. That's good enough. Use default colors equals true. Save. Go back in the game. GS store items reload. And now this little panel here is white. Why is it white? Why is it white, Josh? Oh, because the first color in the default color set is white. Well, we want our Regitrack colors in here and the Hella Black color for sure. So let's add those colors in here. And then it needs to be design color. So I just go like this, like that. So now go back in our game. GS store items reload. And it's still white. Why is it still white? Oh, because the first color that was chosen is still white. It hasn't gotten our XML changes yet because we added a whole... Oh, because I did an S. That would help if I didn't use the word S. We need that. So the way these work is design color configurations, plural, and then inside, singular. I forget that sometimes. I'm sorry. Okay. Can we do it while the color panel is open? No. We can't do it while the color panel is open. Now our panel is hella black. It's hella black. But we could make our panels orange. That looks kind of fancy, right? Cool. What about our roof? We're gonna call this the grill color. This is the grill, because you couldn't really tell in the main one, but it's actually a grill. And I actually like this because the old way of doing grills was really tedious to color. It was possible, but they broke the grill up into like little sections for no reason whatsoever. It was dumb. Anyways, a couple of people jumped in the chat. We have Wranglesaurus Rex. Welcome in. Roar. Coyote Dreams, welcome in. Hi, how's it going? Welcome into the stream. I don't think I've seen you before, but thank you for being here. And Amelia, welcome in. Thanks for being here, everybody. We're coloring. We're making this logically colored cool. So like, I'm gonna pick colors that I like. Boom. That looks like a bomb ass machine to me. But we don't have the roof set up yet. So how are we gonna do the roof? Oh well, let's just go back in here and do it again. So we're going to design color 2. Let's call it design color 2. Uncomment that. It's only there because it wasn't. If it's not there, you literally just, you could do, if this is too much work for you, or you don't have that in your code, because you probably don't, what are you going to do? How do you get a new one? You just go like this, copy, paste. And then I have this fancy feature where I can just do this, and I go and select all of these at once. And then I can add 2 to all of them at once, because I'm using an actual editor, not Notepad. Notepad is like, I don't know, I can't think of it. Can't think of an example. Editing a mod in Notepad is kind of like playing a video game on an Apple IIe. Super basic, old school. It's the simplest way to do it, but it's not very fancy. If you want fancy, you got to upgrade to something like VS Code, which is intended for professionals who write code all day, which is what I do. Amelia, I'm teaching people how to make things hella black. Hella black. We want things to be hella black. So we're making things hella black. And then we're going to make, because I like this style we're doing here, we're going to make the orange the default. So even if we exit out and come back in, it's always going to be orange like that. I'm like really liking this orange and black theme. If you can't tell, that's kind of the theme of my channel. But, you know, what we're doing at a general, okay, so let's reset for Amelia real quick. Okay? Real quick. We have this vehicle. We decided to make a color of it. We have a copy of this vehicle and a copy of the model, and we made a mod that's just this vehicle. All we did, the only things we copied in, if we look at our mod, so like, what? This is the original, this is the actual game. If you copy and paste this whole folder, you're doing it wrong, because all of these things are big. So if I look at this file size, the reason we don't copy the whole folder is I go in here and I go properties, 31 megabytes, right? For all of the stuff. But if I just copy this, it's only 9 megabytes. So it changes the size of your mod. You don't need to copy all this stuff because it's already in the data directory. And so what we did is we copied our mod into our own little folder. We called it black. We put the i3D file here. We put the XML here, and we're editing the XML here. This is our version of the XML, and this is our version of the i3D file, which we have opened in Giants Editor. This is the new Giants Editor, which allows you to have the background be black now or dark. So I made mine dark because that's great. But Giants, we don't just want the scene to be dark. We want everything to be dark. Add dark mode, please, because this is like, this makes this right here makes my eyes bleed. Okay, and then for Amelia, we want to make the roof color. What's the roof color? I don't know. So we're gonna pick the material. We come in here. We choose a material. We think we're gonna guess that it's gonna be maybe. I already did it. So plastic painted shiny gray. That sounds like kind of what the roof of this thing looks like. It's kind of a really light gray, but it's shiny. That's kind of lame, but I'm going to add a slot name. So what I did is I'm going to add, this is the fucking, Matt, this is the Beely, so the white roofs made my eyes bleed. So I'm going to call this the Bleeding Eyes Roof Mat. Copy, save. And then I'm going to go back into my XML because that's what I want to do. And this design color too is going to be, I'm going to tell this is the Bleeding Eyes Roof Mat. And this is kind of proving you can do whatever you want and call it whatever you want. CS Benji, welcome in. Thank you for being a member. If you want to join the membership, we have memberships open finally. And it will really help support the channel. It helps me do what I want to do and helps me be able to do more streams and videos and all kind of stuff for you guys. So yeah. So now the Bleeding Eyes Roof Mat, we want it to be default to orange. We don't want it to default to orange. So if we don't default to anything, we don't want this for sure. It's not metal paint, it's plastic. So we're just gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna call this the roof is on fire, because the roof is on fire. And we're gonna hit save. And then we're gonna exit out. We're gonna load something else just for fun. Go back into the store. It's not gonna be working. Do GS store items reload. That reloads the stuff in the store so we don't have to exit all the way out. Still can't find the material for design material 2. That means it hasn't reloaded. It does that sometimes. Sometimes you have to go back in. And now it reloaded our XML. It still doesn't know the Bleeding Eyes Roof Mat. Did I save? I don't know, maybe. But let's go. Let's do this. We're going to exit out real quick. Here, we're going to go to GS. Oops. GS vehicle. GS vehicle reload. We're going to go back into the store. Hopefully it works now. Bleeding Eyes Roof Mat. There you go. And so now the Bleeding Eyes Roof Mat is colorable. The roof is on fire. You can put whatever you want here, folks. It doesn't matter, especially if it's for yourself. If you tried to ship this to Giants, they'd be like, what? The roof is on fire? What does that even mean? And it kind of like Giants saw that I forget what the map was called. There was a map that came out last year, or earlier this year for FS22 that had Daryl Dixon and as one of the characters for like the sell points. And it had also what was his name? Not Daryl, but the other guy, Rick Grimes as the name that was in the game. And those are characters from the TV show. Like it's Giants sometimes doesn't get like US centric stuff. And so sometimes you can sneak stuff by. Like I could say the roof is on fire and probably ship it. They probably let it go. But This is colorable, so we can make it whatever color we want. We can change the color to green if we wanted to. So, you know, if we were just doing like a John Deere thing, we could have a John Deere Ridgetrack if we want, right? Yay! So we've changed the colors of stuff. We made color selections and made things colorable, and it works. That's fantastic. I've been looking forward to that for a while. There's more you can get into it. If we go back to the mod desk one, the other thing in the mod desk that allows us to do is we can make a material template. So this is the material template. We can make our own material templates, right? Which is super cool. So if we wanted like this hella black thing, let's say that I want hella black to be my own material. How do I do that? Okay, Josh, that's a great idea. Let's look. Come in here. We're gonna open our mod desk. Wait, that's the Transtar. Why am I looking at that? I want to look at that. It's stupid. We're gonna open our mod desk. This is our mod desk. I don't know why it's, oh, it says government subsidy because we copied the government subsidy. So I'm coming here and we're gonna say and color hella black. We need to translate it, of course. And then we're going to do a material name or something like that. Is that what it was? Material templates, plural templates. Right? And then template. And we just want a template. We can copy the one from the data directory. So we'll go back to the data directory, the brand material templates. And we just copy this one. Right? Copy. Oh. Paste. We want our own template. We're going to call this name. We're going to call the name hella black. Color is hella black. L10N. Usage, I don't know what that means. Color scale 0, 0, 0. And then the other thing I haven't figured out, metalness. Metalness? What the hell is metalness? The description is missing, so we don't know what metalness means. Clear coat smoothness. Is this used anywhere? So this is how I figure stuff out. The gold color of the new S series Valtra metalness scale. It has, oh look, calibrated metallic paint. So fine, calibrated. Calibrated what? Metal? I don't want gloss paint. I want like old paint. Where are the templates? Where are the templates? Like, I want to know what the color templates are. Who knows where they are? Does anyone know? I know where to find it. I'm just joking with you. So we need the color templates. I need to find those. So where are we going to find the color templates? We're going to go into our data directory. We're going to go up one. Shared. XML maybe? No. Shader? No. No. I keep going in that directory. It's just calling out to me. Audio groups, collision mask converted rules, object mask flags, shared. Shared brand material templates. That's the one we have open. Find. Some of these have calibrated metallic and some of them have calibrated paint. Calibrated metallic paint. Where is this? I don't want that. No. Where's... Oh, here it is. Material templates. That's what I wanted. Okay, here's the material templates and how they look. And we can use all of these. We can use whatever we want. So I think it's going to default to like gloss or something. It's probably defaulting to this. But I want not that. Oh, that's the one I want. Okay, so we're going to go back to... We found what we wanted. I want matte. We're going to go back to live modding. Come in here. Then we're going to do parent template equals calibrated matte paint. Is that right? Parent template. Templates, parent template default. That should be fine. I think that works. So now we can do this. Copy. Let's comment. We'll do the top one. Nope, we're not. That's not the top one. The top one's this one. Comment that out. And we're going to do this. Since we made our own material template, now we have Hello Black as a color. Right? We should. Let's see if it works. GS. Oh, but you know what? Since we changed something in the mod desk, okay, so it's not going to show up. Here's why. If you make any changes in your mod desk file while the game is open, the game doesn't actually ever look at the mod desk file again until you reload the game. So we actually have to exit out of the game. So we're going to go here. Did we save our game at all? Probably not. I think we just like jumped into the game for no reason. Let's save. Let's actually name this. We're going to call this live modding. Back, save. And then the quickest way to quit out of the game is to double click the tilde key and type quit. Game's over. And then we just go back in as soon as Steam syncs. Come on, Cloud, stink. And then we wait for like a minute and a half for the game to launch. Come on. There we go. How is everybody today? Now that we're sitting here for a minute while we're waiting for the game to actually launch. And it's not because my computer is slow. I literally opened the shrink wrap of this computer a week ago. It's brand new. It's tip top of the line. It's not my computer. But I'm going to fall asleep because it's taking so long. There we go. Rigid track, start. So we also can make our own material. So I'm hoping this works. We'll see. But I think this should give us our own material. So now we have a material called Hello Black. And as long as it's all defined in that mod file, you can use any material. But the cool thing, and I think the part that I really like about this new system is if you compare it to the old system. Let's compare it to the old system. No, that's the new system. Where's the old one? Here. If we compare it to the old system, right, of like finding stuff. No, not a good one. Not a good example. This one? Yeah. So if you compare it to the old system, this is FS22. It's not a good example. It would really help if I had a good example. Nope, not a good example. BioBaler Pro, that's a good example. So this is my own version of the BioBaler Pro, and this is how you define colors in the old way. So if we zoom up on this, close this, The old way was you had to define the material and then the shader parameters. Hey, the Stooge, the Sports Stooge, welcome in. We are figuring out GE and the new material and color systems. The old way of doing it was you had to have this block in your XML. And this block tied the viz node, which is the node in the model that defines the visualization, the visuals of the model, to a material. So if you didn't have this, there was no material. So you defined the material in XML, and then you had availability of 8 color mats, 0 through 7 or something like that, and then you had to match which color mat, which is basically 0 through 8 or whatever, and then what color that should be, right? And you had to define that. And then if you wanted to configure a new color, you had to be, I want to define the color. Every single time you had to have the color be, you had to have this string of text in here. You had to define the name every time. You had to define the color every time. And you had to define the material every time. That's annoying. That takes time. And like, if you look, I'm just copying and pasting this over and over, right? I copied and pasted the same configuration thing over and over 3 times. But if we look at the new way of doing it, right? Now, all I do is my material template, which is all of that stuff we just talked about, all wrapped into a little bubble. I just want to use Hello Black. Just use Hello Black. That's it. Just use that one. I don't care about anything else. Just use Hello Black. And if you wanted to basically like say, okay, don't use, just take the color from the material template. You can also use use material template, use color only, set this to true, and then it'll only take the color from the template. It won't take any calibration. Like this one, we've already said, hey, we want this to be matte, and we want this template says I want that color to be matte. This line right here says don't care about what color you want that. Don't let it be matte. Make sure it's nice and shiny. So if you do this, and then you also do default color material template name like this, and you do calibrated if you calibrate metallic paint, this basically will say, okay, I want this thing to all of it to be metallic. I want everything to be metallic, but when you pick a color, only use the color. Don't pick the material of that color. Just take the color. And so this would give us all the colors would be metallic. Whereas if we do it this way, each material can be a different material. I mean, each material template can refer to a different material. So if we go back to our material templates here, right? If you go back to our brand material templates, like this color, Homer Gray 1, is always going to be metallic paint. It's going to be metallic paint with some smoothness and color scales applied to it, and dark gray decals. Like it's kind of weird, but whatever. Let's find a better one. Horse Gray 1. Like we could use Horse Gray 1, and this Horse Gray 1 will always be metallic. So if we wanted to come in here to our mod and say we want, where was it? It was right here. Horse Gray 1. I want Horse Gray 1 to be one of my selections. I come in here and I hit save. I go in here to the store. I go into mod, and that's not working. Registract Gray White. So, and then we do GS store items reload, and now Horse Gray is now in here as a color, and this is metallic, I guess. See how it's like kind of shiny? Shiny. So now we just added Horse Gray 1, which is a metallic paint, but the rest of them are not as metallic. They're a different kind of metallic. See this? See the finish on this? This is like a metal metallic, where the Horse Gray 1 is slightly different. It doesn't have the same texture. But our custom color, this one, don't work. Why does it not work? It just says 1. So let's figure out why it doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work, but let's figure it out. This is so part of modding, and this is the hard part, and this is what everyone comes to me about. Like, not everyone, but a lot of the people who I help, and I'm willing to help you too if you have run into problems. Just message me on Discord. The hard part is debugging. The hardest part of modding across the board is debugging. I can copy and paste all day long. Most people can. But if they don't understand why their copy paste doesn't work, or why it isn't applying the color that they want, or whatever the issue is, and they're getting an error of some kind, the hardest part is debugging. So we had a base color configuration, this Hello Black default true. Now we have a material template called Hello Black. And I thought that if we defined it in our mod desk that it would work. So template name, Hello Black, color, Hello Black. It's Hello Black, yo. Sorry. And it's supposed to be matte paint, color scale. Why isn't that working? Let's go look at the spec. What does the spec say? Material templates ID. Hold on. Description. Title. Oh, I used the word name. There's a name. There's a title. So the name. Oh, I think I got it wrong. Okay, I did it wrong. So it was my fault. Yeah, the name. The name is the name of the template. Title is what shows in the store. Right? Where's title? Title, what shows in the store. Usage. I don't know what that means. Usage, I think, is how many times it's used, but I don't understand that really yet. So if anyone knows, let me know. Parent template default, parent template file name, parent template. Parent template is not a thing in here. So parent. No, parent template is. Brand category. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, it'd help if I spelled it right. I did a material template, not a material template. Oh my gosh. My typing too fast and not actually looking at what I'm doing strikes again. So it wasn't working because I think it wasn't working because I didn't spell it right. Again, you have to debug. Like as you go into it, okay, well, is it named right? Do I have all the properties right? Am I defining the things that are required? If we look at the spec, is ID required? No. But name? The name, it says no being required, but technically, yeah, it's kind of required. The porosity, oh, that'd be awesome. Porosity, 5,000. And of course, you can like tweak all the colors and stuff like that. That's just how it works. Oh, look, the game finally loaded. That's awesome. Go live modding. We're trying to create our own material template right now. This is something that's new, but I'm looking forward to it because that means when I give you guys the VPW, I can just color the crap out of them, and I can give you a couple of my own colors. So I can say that Hello Black is a color, and I'm going to put Hello Black. I'm going to say that now. I'm going to put Hello Black as an option for every single one of the VPW. The Sports Stooge, how are you? Thank you for asking questions. I love it. Have I ever done anything with map building? Yes, 100%. On FS22, I directly helped build 4 maps? 3 maps? 3 for sure, kind of 4. Blackwater Bottoms, I helped Matt with Shanty Boys Blackwater Bottoms add custom grass and a completely new game mode to Blackwater Bottoms. I also did the same thing for Split Mountain Ranch. Both of those are Shanty Boys maps. And then the third one is Deadwood. I had a small hand in helping Poor Boy build and customize and add functionality and features to Deadwood. So yeah. Hello, self. Hi, Josh. My name is Josh. How are you? You know, it's Josh. Hey, welcome. You're the first person who's come into the channel with my name. So you have like top priority. Somebody give him a membership. Anyways, we're gonna go back in and we'll see if our Hella Black worked. Did Hella Black work? Yes, Hella Black worked. Oh, look at that. It's so good. Oh, that I am in love. Look at that. That's so beautiful. That's so good. So we created our the color in the store says Hella Black, yo. Ship it. I'm totally adding that to the VPW. You guys are gonna have an option for every VPW machine. The first color option is gonna be Hella Black, yo. That's amazing. That makes me so happy. Anyways, so we've colored stuff. We can color more stuff. Like we also had, if we go back to our thing here, we have 16 colors to choose from. So I could just color everything in their mother. We could change the motor color. Like we could do this. So we could just like use default colors equals true. And I'm gonna copy this, copy paste twice. For the other things we made materials for was the motor and the axles, right? So now the motor, and then title equals motor, and title equals both. And of course, capitalization doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore, right? Because it just capitalizes everything. So I just added these two new colors. Whoop-de-doo. Fantastic. GS store. Store item reload. Now, whoop. Now we have a design color. Why didn't it get the title? That was my title. So now I can change the motor to gray and the axles to blue because that looks fantastic. But it says design color. What did I do wrong? I bet I have to go back out. Sometimes when you add new stuff, like you have to go back out. Go into something else. Yeah, and the names probably wouldn't show up till I get out of the game, come back in. But now here's one annoying thing, and this is a super easy thing, right? This motor, right, and the axles, they're just black. They're supposed to be black by defaults, but now I'm allowing them to be colorable. But I don't want them to be white when it shows up. That's super dumb. So, but if I don't want to define a custom color for it to be, but I still want there to be a default color, we just say, okay, use default color. So default. Now see how it's auto completing for me? The reason that auto completion happens is because at the very top of the screen, the XSI namespace location, I'm pointing to an actual location. If your thing is not auto completing and your software platform has the ability to auto complete, you're losing out on so much, because I can just type topic D and it's going to give me all of the parameters that would work in this thing that are capital D. And so see, there's two different things. This is like a top level thing, but this is a property that I'm using. So the two properties that I can put in here that start with the letter D are default color index and default color material template name. So I do default color index, right? And then I do 8. I think that's black. I have a little cheat sheet somewhere. I don't think it's open. Maybe it's open. No. Keep. this is the cheat sheet of the colors. These are the default colors. So all of the default colors, this is what their index is. So if I say 8, it's going to be jet black. If I say 7, it's going to be onyx black. So if I'm only using default colors, these are the default colors, and that's their indexes. That's what it was for FS22. I haven't adjusted it for FS25. I'm assuming they're the same. But so I want default color index to be 8, and let's say I want default material template name to be Cala. I want the default to be calibrated paint. Can't type. Right? What the frack is going on? Sometimes autocomplete kind of fights you. But anyways, the default material template name, I want the motor to always be what? What do we want the motor to be? Let's go look. Well, what kind of material templates do we have? Calibrated metal. Oh, calibrated cast iron. So we want the motor. We want the motor and the axles to be cast iron, right? Because that makes sense. Okay. So we save, go back in the game. Come on. We're going to go out. We're going to go back in and go in. And now it remembered what I did. Oh, the indexes are off. See that? My old index system is off. So this was 8 now. So now it's setting to yellow as default. I should be setting to 7. So this one should be 7. And I didn't set one for this one. So we're going to also do this one to 7. Actually, let's do this one to 6. Save. And then we're going to come back in the game. GS store items reload. And it kind of, like when you go into the store and the first time you hit it, that's the default. So you want your defaults to always be right. So now if we look really close, do you see how the axle right here? See how it has this like kind of texture to it? And we see how the motor is black, but the axles are gray. That's what I wanted. And so now I've set up all of these design colors. I'm configuring all the stuff and doing it the way I want. And so Josh subscribed. So thanks for subscribing, Josh. I feel like I'm talking to myself. DJ's Club, welcome in. I saw a bunch of people talking that all talked at once. Everyone's saying hi. I love how everyone is so like welcoming to everyone else. I think that's really great. Farmer Groot. I am Groot. Thank you for being here. Comson's coming back. I heard that. I saw the preview that it's supposed to be coming December. So that means Oxy's working on the conversion. Now, if I really cared about this thing right here, the last piece that's not black, because of course it has to be that way. The last piece that's not black, let's see if I can find it. Okay, so the last piece that's not black is this white on the background of the little plastic stuff. So we're going to go back to our interior viz, and we're going to look for something that says plastic painted shiny gray, maybe. No, that's a dark gray. So this is the 012. That means it's almost black. I want something that's almost white. This one? No, that's almost black. Maybe this one? So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to copy. So now to see if I found the right thing, that's the important part here. Copy. And I chase it 1. Oh, look, I found it. Perfect. I found the controls. So we're going to call this interior. So we're going to call that interior nothing can be white. .mat. Save. 0.43, I think it was. Okay, so interior, nothing can be white. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go back into here, and we're gonna change this to be interior, nothing can be white. This is telling me, see how it says it's kind of giving me a squiggly line under design material 4 because I've already defined design material 4, so we need to design material 5. Done. Super. Default colors. Use this. Calibrated. I bet you there's a plastic. And then we're going to call this control arm. Default color index 7. Oops, not Y7, 7. Let's see if there's a plastic. Find plastic. Plastic painted black. There's a default color called plastic painted black. I'm just do plastic painted. Plastic painted. Done. Default color. Come in here. Go out. Come in here. Go back out. Go back into the model, and it should reload the model. And it did. See how these are all weird color? And then we go, because they're weird color because I messed it up. Save. But we can come in here and do GS store. Items reload. Beautiful. Whoops. I exited out without meaning to. Sorry. And we're coming here, and this is the plastic inside. But see how the plastic inside is already black? Because we set the default as black. We could make the plastic inside yellow if we really wanted to. Actually, that looks kind of cool is yellow. Look, we could make it Ridgetrack orange. That would look kind of cool. It's thematic. And set... Seriously? Stop calling me. Go here. We're going to make it gray. So now we have our totally colored and customized Ridgetrack. And that's how you find the materials. That's how you create the materials. That's how you set the materials. That's how you make them dynamic. And if we just did this, quit, and go through the whole hassle of restarting the game, which totally reloads everything. FS22 Unreal and having fun, Catholic. Welcome in. I see you have a John Deere logo. I wouldn't actually call out that Poor Boy's not coming back. Poor Boy's a map maker. Not really as much a modder, but he's a map maker, mostly. He does modding for his maps. But he hasn't said he's not coming back. So don't count him out yet. From what I heard, he is planning on bringing one of his maps, at least I believe it's Black Mountain, is going to be brought to FS25. But since we, like, literally the entire modding community just got GE yesterday morning. Or yesterday morning for me, it might have been later for you guys. But yesterday, we just got GE, which means that yesterday is the start date for anyone making maps or converting maps. So they couldn't do anything until we get GE10, which is what we're playing in, what we're messing around in. If we come here, store, let's look at our final thing. So don't count Poor Boy out yet. We'll see. I've worked with Poor Boy before, and if I can, I'll help him with his new map. And as you can see, all of this stuff is working great. Why is the title not working? That's irritating me. That's super weird. You notice that? The title is not working. This title, it can be anywhere. So the order of the properties in XML don't matter. You can change the order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the front so I can see it. Because having it off the end is kind of annoying. Maybe it didn't like the fact that I was... Whoops. It didn't like the fact that I was, like, using bad words or something. I don't know. But you notice how the first couple, the title works. But the second color, The second couple, the title's not working. Like 3, 4, and 5, the title doesn't work. I don't know. Why is it not working? I don't want to say design color 6 times. That's stupid. GS store. Maybe I'll have to report that to Giants. That could be a bug, right? It could be a bug. Let's look at the spec. Does the spec allow it? So this is what I when I'm trying to debug something. What am I going to do? Oh, let's go back to vehicle. And then design. We have to wait. This document's freaking huge, so it takes a little while to load. Hey, Jody Beard. Did you change your name, Jody? I thought your last name was Beard. My apologies. Welcome in, Jody. Thanks for coming in. Yes, and I'm actually planning on making maps at some point in the future. I have some really cool ideas for maps, and I'm probably going to be going down the Ola Haldor route, where I'm going to be making most of the map not in GE, because GE is a little bit frustrating to use. And I want to make procedurally generated maps. So I want to make most of the maps I'm going to do procedurally generated, except for one. One of them is going to be a DEM map, which is going to be based off of my local area, which is, I live in farming area, so I'm going to make a map of my local area, which is going to be super fun. And I can show, you guys want to see some mods? Okay, so we finished our task for the day, and I only have a few more minutes. We only have a few more minutes, so we can look at some cool mods that Josh is working on, right? That sounds fun. But we achieved our goal. Our Rigitrack is cool looking. It has a boring wheel setup. We never even got into wheels. I was thinking of doing wheels. Maybe next time we'll get into wheels. I don't know how to do wheels, but I'm sure that value, this should say value default. But I want to add BKT wheels to this thing. I want to add some burly looking BKT wheels. So next time we'll add BKT wheels, like the ones that Chris and Riley add to the Colossuses. I haven't seen it yet, Bruce. I missed his Twitch streams, and he doesn't have replay on his Twitch streams, so I haven't actually seen it yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it because he does awesome stuff. But maybe next time we'll get into wheels, and maybe motors and stuff like that. One of the things about this excuse me, SKH60 is it's kind of blah. It's blah from a horsepower standpoint, so I'd really like to add another motor configuration. So we're going to call this the SKH60 boost. And you don't need to do the torque scale and stuff like that each time, or the transmission. You just need the motor. And then we go here to the end. And you don't need any of this stuff here unless you're changing it. Make that a closing tag. Max forward speed 72. We're going to give it 150 horsepower for $1,000. The torque scale is going to be 1. And this will be a new. So now that's how you add a motor configuration. I just did all of the work for you, right? So we come in here, GS store, items reload. I don't know why I type it every time. Now engine setup, SKH60, SKH60 boost. And the boost one is now 150 horsepower. And so if we buy this, yes. And then we come in here and we buy the stock one, which is actually kind of crappy and super expensive. What the hell? Buy. Yes. Okay. No, no, no. This is our new one. This is our new one. This is the other one. So this is the stock Rigitrack. Let's pretty good. I like the four-wheel steering. It's pretty fast. It's not bad. This, mine. The engine sounds the same, so we didn't touch the engine configuration. But this one, it's still limited to 42 because we didn't change the right setting. But it has a more powerful engine. And it has a different torque curve. And you can change the torque curve by keeping this in here and putting that back in and changing the torque curve you wanted. The thing I didn't change that I should have changed was base. Where is it? No, store data. Where is it? Where's the speed limit? I'd have to find it later. Anyways, let's go look at a couple mods, right? So I like it. This tractor is funky. It has front and back PTOs. I actually like this tractor a lot, which is why I'm doing this. And I'm actually going to make an electric version. So next time we'll do motor configurations and wheel, and we'll actually make an electric option. So we can hopefully switch between regular fuel and electric. So we'll have an electric version. I don't know if that's going to work, but we're going to freaking try. We'll do that next time. But for now, let's... we're going to save, leave those tractors there so we can mess with the engines next time. And we're going to quit. We're just going to do a regular quit. Actually, no, we're going to do a full quit. All right, we're not done yet. Hold on. Benji, if you have to go, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Let's do... Where are we going? This one? Yes. If you guys want to see what's coming, let's go look at what's coming. I love the idea that you can do 100% in Houdini. I think that's so awesome. And I love the idea of a procedurally generated map. And I have some great ideas for that. Because I think that if you have something that's procedurally generated, you can just change a bunch of numbers and settings and stuff like that and generate a new map. And so you could have like one shape of the land and build 5 or 6 different variations of that one map and have each, how you can choose variation 1, variation 2. And this overall size of your map isn't going to be that much different. Like it'll be bigger, but not that much bigger. Actually, if we're going to be testing out stuff, let's get out of this window. Game. We want full 4K. All right, we're going to do full 4K, and we're going to see some of the new stuff that I've been working on, okay? You guys ready? Here we go. I love waiting for the game to open. It's my favorite part of the day. I sit here and contemplate while I'm waiting for the game to launch, and it takes like 2 minutes. Think about my future. I'm just kidding. Okay, so we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We'll show all the best stuff. But there's, I mean, if you think about it, the way I look at it from a procedural generated standpoint is, at the end of the day, a map is just numbers. It's just data stored in certain files and settings and numbers and configurations and stuff like that. It's not crazy. It's just a thing, right? So anyways, what do we have here? We have nothing. So first of all, let's talk about contracts. So I have something in testing. It's in Giants testing right now called Contract Boost. contract boost allows some cool stuff. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 contracts. It's not that many. If we fast forward in time, 15 is not enough for me. And we're fast forwarding and fast forwarding and fast forwarding and fast forwarding. So like I'm 2 hours ahead. Only 2 hours. So we'll go to all the way to 2 hours. So number one, contracts generate much faster. And as you can see, I have a ton of contracts available. Not just 1 or 2, not just like 3 per category, but 5 per category. Because I said in a settings file that I want 5 per category. So you get more contracts. Not only that, look at these fertilizing contracts. This fertilizing contract is awesome. It's only 1 hectare, but I'm getting $2,700 for it, where before I was only getting $1,500. Huh. Someone adjusted the contract prices and how much you get for a reward. Huh. Oh, look at this. It's a fertilizing contract. If I borrow the equipment, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that contract. I'm borrowing the equipment. Tab, 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 tab. I love tabbing. Now I have this really stupid looking Fendt. It's a vineyard tractor. I don't know why these are contract vehicles, but whatever. And I have this, and oh wait, look at this. Look at that. Free fertilizer. At the store, waiting for me to go. Comes with a contract with borrowing the equipment. Huh, imagine that. And then I have, oh wait. I have a contract. I want to do a lot of fertilizing contracts. So I'm going to take this contract. I'm going to take this contract. I'm going to take this contract. Take this contract. And I think when I'm done, I'm going to do some spraying contracts. So I'm going to borrow the equipment for this one. And then I'm going to do this contract. I'm going to do this contract. Do this contract. Do this contract. Oh, wait, look at that. How many contracts do I have? That's right. More contracts than 3. 3 is such a limiting number. I don't like limits. No more limits. Actually, there is a limit. It's 10, but you can change the setting whatever you want. Did I set my limit? I think I actually got... Now I can't show off stuff, so yes. Cancel 2 of these because I need to show you something. Cancel. Okay. Back. And then we want a harvesting contract for wheat. We're going to accept it. We're not going to borrow the items. Let's exit out because I accepted too many contracts and I got myself into a little bit of a pickle. Yes, Deep Sky, it does. And not only does it make it worth it, but you're getting a little bit more than you used to. So it's extra worth it. Contract. No, not crop boost. We don't need that. We don't know what that is. Sorry. I accepted 10 contracts. The limit is 10. So you can change the limit. I don't want to go through that drama of changing the limit and having to exit and reload. But basically, and I'll show you the file in your mod. This is your mod folder. This is your settings folder. And now there's going to be a file in here called contract boost, which basically says, hey, what are the values do you want? How many max contracts per farm? Oh, I want 10. I want 5 per type. No, I want 10 per type. No, I want 500 contracts overall. That actually won't work because the max value is 100. But whatever. You have a configuration file. You can change all this stuff. So if you're on PC, this is a PC only thing because it's scripting and it's changing the game, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But let's go get a harvesting contract. So this is a harvesting contract for canola. No, I want wheat. So we're going to accept this contract. Right? And then we want a mowing contract, which I'm not going to get till tomorrow, but I'm going to ask you to believe in me and to know that it works. So first of all, we're going to come in here And where was that harvesting contract? This is a harvesting contract. You're getting lots more than we used to. Field 50. So GS teleport 50. We're over at this field. This is a field. Hire a worker. You figure it out. I don't know what you I don't want to talk to you. I'm gonna go buy. I'm gonna buy a tractor. Oh, it's ugly. Here's the fence. Whatever. We're gonna lease it because I don't have enough money to buy all this stuff. We're gonna lease a fence, and we're going to show off 2 mods at once. Come in here, variable pickup width, the VPW. Yeah, okay, whatever. Lease, yes. Okay. Oops, not what I wanted. We're gonna show off the VPW mod also while we're here for funsies. Actually, that's not the one I want. Let's get rid of that. Where are my lease stuff? How do I return a lease? Does anyone know? No, that's a sale. Oh, I think I have to go in here, right? Yes. Return. Yes. I'm going to get the one that I know works, which this tractor might not pull. But let's pretend it does. VPW, this one. Yes, we want area markers. Configuration. Redonkulous. Please. Yes. Thank you. And let's get a different machine. Let's get a different tractor. We need a Valtra. That's fine. Lease. Yes. Okay. We're just going to lease a bunch of stuff. So, because I have to show off all the things. We're trying to show it all off at once in like 5 minutes. Because I didn't give myself very much time. Where's the stupid windrowers? Oh, I didn't enable the freaking windrowing. All right, so variable pickup width. I'm going to show off 2 things at once in one fell swoop. So first of all, we have that guy doing the contract, and the harvester's probably going to be full soon. Whatever. Teleport 50. So we're now on the contract field. The harvester's doing his thing. Right? That's great. No! What are you doing? Why'd you back up? I want straw. I can't demo this thing without straw. Okay, let's go here. We're going to leave this guy over here. Whoa, there's a little drop off right there. What the heck? Alright, we're going to leave that guy here. This guy... Does anyone remember how to fill a vehicle, just dump a vehicle? What is manure? Fine, I have to sell the manure. What am I gonna do? How will I ever sell manure? I don't know. Let's add in... Does this work yet? No, it's not accepted here. Alright, that didn't work. Alright, so this is the new fill station. We were talking about the new stuff. Construction. Here's the new farm fill station. So there's a bunch. We have the fieldwork fill station. We have a free version. We have the silo version, which has the little silo dump crate. And then all of the fieldwork fill stations have this new thing here. Areas my fucking face is restricted. Shut up. Go away, errors. I'm still working on it, so obviously. But here's the new fill station. And all of them are going to have a sell region, so a dump region. And you can actually buy and sell from the fill station. Not only that, the fill stations are now... Let's customize them. F for customize. We can have patina. We can have the light patina. We can have the dark patina. Great. We can also change the color. We have all of these colors. Look at all these fantastic colors. It's just going to keep showing me that error because I made that error an hour ago. But like I can make it orange if I want. Or I can make it blue if I want. Or I can make it John Deere green if I want. Or I can make it case red if I want. Why the color names don't show up in this panel right here, the color names, like it doesn't show up color names for some reason. This one is nil 2. Like, why is it being dumb? Like, I don't understand that. I don't know why the color names don't show up there, but whatever. There's colors, so it's colorable now. And there's going to be multiple versions with all kinds of fun stuff. And that's the fieldwork fill station. That's coming out very, very soon. And the industrial sawmill is also coming out soon. So we have this. Go down to factories, go all the way down to the bottom. We have our industrial sawmill. Right? And for some reason, the game doesn't let you place stuff when there's stuff there before. So we have to find a new place for it. Here's the industrial sawmill. Now, the industrial sawmill has changed slightly. Not very much, but slightly. In that the drop zone here is green. It's going to be the new game color green. And the spawn zone is using the yellow. So this works the same as the old sawmill, where you drop off wood, you can sell wood, all that kind of stuff. There's 4 versions of it now. We go into selling points. We have this version, right? Which is just for selling wood. So this is the just selling wood version. This one is the buying station. And this one is a buying and selling station. So if we come over here to look at these, what do we get to do? We're here, and I come in here to the little shop menu, and I say, oh, I want to buy stuff. You can buy planks, long planks, wood beams, chips, prefab walls, right? All of the stuff you need to build the stuff anywhere in your thing. I haven't gotten the Place Anywhere mod, but I should download it. I haven't downloaded anything yet. I've been so busy making my own. But anyways, this allows you to buy and sell stuff. There's a bug right there. This is, again, selling station, selling all those things. This one allows you to sell stuff on this side, green, or spawn stuff on this side, brown. And not only that, if I come in here and I do something like planks. Planks are expensive. I don't know why you'd ever buy planks. Planks long. But as you can see, it's stacking up. There, it stacks. Everything stacks on mine. It doesn't stack anywhere else in the game, but you know what? The whole game can't be as cool as me, so... There you go. So, buy, sell, just sell, just buy, depending on what you want to use it for. And you could put multiple of these around your map and do whatever you want with them. Again, I needed GE to finish this off. There's a few little things with the triggers that I have to finish that I needed GE for. And then also the fill plane for the wood chips is not working right. Let's go empty that worker. He's 18% done. So I'm going to come here and do this. I'm just going to dump it on the ground because I don't care. And then we're going to teleport. I like how the dump thing actually deals with fill planes a little bit better. And so it'll stop dumping if it doesn't have enough space to dump, which is a little bit better than it worked in the last game. Let's go over to field 50. Empty out that harvester. I think it's interesting how the worker only did 1 headland, but whatever. I don't care. I just need him to do his work so I can show off something else. Love how this is nice and slow. So again, this is the contract. We're doing a contract right now. And the contract... normally on contracts, this is all you can do. You can harvest, you can empty out the grain, you can sell the grain, deliver it wherever it needs to go, whatever. I'm not actually going to deliver it. Don't care that much. But the reason we came over here is not that. The reason we came over here is this. This is not your typical sweet maker forage harvester. This is my forage harvester. So we come in here, turn it, we lower down our thing, we turn it on, and oh look, there's these two little guideline things here on the sides. That's how big your pickup is. But I want to change it, so it's not big enough for me. And we can change it to plus a little bit more, plus a lot more, and you can see it's picking up already because I have it down. Or super strength. You can't really see the outsides, but it's there. And then we have VPW in FS25 with guidelines. The guidelines are pretty cool, right? And so you can see here I'm picking up, with just the extra, I'm picking up 2. So this is the extended pickup. Extended pickup is now wider than it was before. It's going to basically be whatever it was plus 8. And then, or no, whatever it was plus 6. And then the full-size one is now 30. So instead of just being 20, it's now going to be 30 for the full size. And you get all of the same features you got before. And right now, as of today, these trailers are not color configurable, but as we showed earlier on the screen, that's all possible. So now you can pick up straw on a contract with a VPW. They're toning off two different things. The VPW is one thing. Picking up straw from a contract field is totally new. That's in Contract Boost. So the Contract Boost enables picking up straw during missions, picking up grass during missions, picking up rocks during missions. Those are the 3 right now that are in there. We could probably add more if I can figure out the rest of them. But for right now, those are the 3 features that are coming along with the Contract Boost, along with all of the other stuff in here for contracting that we added, like having the fertilizer coming with fertilizing contract. If you have a big fertilizing contract, you get 2 or sometimes 3 for the really big ones. Like this one right here, I think you should have 3. 1, 2, 3. You get 3 pallets of fertilizer. So much awesome. Harvesting. No big difference, but harvesting, if I could, I didn't have it activated. But you can also, if you're doing like we're doing right here, a wheat contract, if I had turned the MacDon pack on, I would also be able to use swathing on a harvesting contract. That's not available in the base game. I've made that possible because I'm awesome. And so the guidelines are turned off, by the way, Mr. Unreal and Living Having Fun Catholic. The guidelines, we put them close. If you turn off your machine, they go away. If you turn on your machine, they only show up when your machine is on. So when you're driving around town, you don't want to see the guidelines all the time, so they go away. They're also a store option. So if you go into the store, you decide whether you want guidelines or not. And that'll be with all of the VPW machines, which will also all be color selectable once I get the color selection working, which is going to take a little while. But all of that extra stuff is part of the contract boost. VPW is also working. So as of right now, with VPW, we have these wagons. This one is exceptionally problematic because this one has the capacity. You have a pickup, no pickup. So it actually has a version of the vehicle that doesn't have a pickup. It's kind of still there, but for whatever reason, they decided that this is Giants, not me. They decided to leave this part of it here, but just turn off the actual pickup head. And this one also has the work area markers, but there's a bug with them because Giants built their vehicle wrong. But this will all be colorable, so if you want to make it black like I do, have fun. And we'll make sure you can make it hella black too. That's important. But yeah, that's it. That's all the stuff that I'm working on. This all the stuff is coming out. So the contract boost is actually in testing now. The sawmill and the fieldwork fill stations will come out next, or they'll be submitted next. Whether they actually come out next is, of course, all the way up to Giants. And then the VPW will be the next thing after that. And the other one I'm working on is which is for some people who've requested it. The horse resale value mod, which is a script mod. It's a really simple script mod, PC only, but we're going to be adding a few more animals to it. So we're going to be changing the name of that one. It's going to be called the animal resale value mod, and we're going to be adding more animals with new values. And I've been working with some other content creators to figure out what the values of those should be. So look for that soon. That one should be fun. And I hope you guys really enjoy this stuff. This stuff will be coming to all platforms. The little rigid track I was working on earlier, that's just for me. That's not going to ModHub. I'm not going to try to resubmit one of Giants' own vehicles back to them without adding functionality. Adding colors. So at a high level, super high level, last thing, if you want to do this stuff, I'm showing you how to do it for yourself. To do it to go to ModHub is a different scenario. Giants has a restriction, an internal restriction, they don't really talk about, but they do if you try to submit something, that you can't, they don't want you to submit anything that's just the same as what they already have. So that rigid track that I made earlier, even though I made the whole thing colorable and that's different, it's not different enough for Giants. I would have to add other features. So you saw a lot of duplicates of vehicles being added to 22 because they added a simple IC or they added other stuff. They added more functionality to the mod. Changing colors and making it color selectable or making it with, just extra engine options is not enough. You got to do more. And they also prefer packs. So Giants, in a general, they prefer packs. So if I tried to submit just this trailer, they probably wouldn't like it. But since I'm just submitting an entire pack of trailers and other vehicles that have new functionality, they were okay with it in 22. I hope they're going to be okay with it in 25. But just as a high level, I'm showing you how to do it just to learn the system. But actually getting stuff submitted on ModHub is a whole nother can of worms. We can talk about that more in another video, but for now, just don't try to submit something they already have. That's just your basic general principle. Try to submit something new. Come up with a new idea, come up with a new way of doing things, and submit something that is not already there. But if you're going to use Giants assets, they will be very, very strict about what they allow to be added. But that's going to be it for me today. I want to say thank you for everyone for joining. We had a lot of fun. We got a lot of new people in here. Thank you to all the new people. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to hear more. If you want to become a membership, there's also memberships available. It's not required, but greatly appreciated. And the flashing trees was really cool. It was like for fun. There's still some problems in this game. It's not great, but at least now as modders, we found ways to get around some of those things and make things better. So hopefully I can make stuff better. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for joining, and I will catch everyone next time. Bye-bye. Oops, that's not the right video. That's not the thingy. There. Bye-bye.